Family, we are in second and short, the biggest show this offseason, free agent frenzy, where lives are being changed due to money that is being put in people's pockets. Saquon Barkley, superstar running back, leaves the New York Giants and he joins the Philadelphia Eagles. But let me break it down for you. A.J. Brown, first-round pick, $100 million receiver. Devontae Smith, first-round pick wide receiver, won the Heisman. Jalen Hurts, second-round quarterback, all-pro wide receiver. Dallas Goedert, second-round tight end. And then in the backfield, you got first-round, top-5 pick Saquon Barkley. James Jones, you know I love me the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
But I'm not so ignorant nor so arrogant to acknowledge or ignore, not acknowledge or ignore the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles got the best skill position group in all of football now.
Yep.
And the Niners are either tied for first or a close second. With that being said, if you Jalen Hurts, you have no excuse.
None.
No excuse. Imagine being a quarterback, having Saquon in the backfield when you do that.
My goodness.
You want to throw the go ball, you see Devontae. You want to throw the dig route, you see AJ. You want to throw the check down, you see Goddard. It does not get better. How much pressure is now on Jalen Hurts with the Saquon Barkley sign?
All of it. All of it is on him, and all of it is on Coach Nick Sirianni. You're an offensive coach. Your quarterback took a huge step backwards last year. And you can say whatever you want to say. New offensive coordinator, whatever you want. New running back, whatever you want. He took a huge step backwards. Now you have an all-pro A.J. Brown. Now you have Devontae Smith, who's going to be a $100 million receiver. And you have a big-time running back in the backfield with a big-time tight end. All the pressure is on you. If you do not deliver and you take a step back, what else can we do for you? Like, literally, what else can we do to help you succeed? You have everything. Any quarterback would trade their job right now to be in your position.
True.
Whoever it is, Josh Allen, Patty Mahomes, whoever it is, with what you have over there, any quarterback would trade you to have your skill positions. You have to deliver. All the pressure is going to be on you to get this offense rolling. And to be honest with you, this team is going to have to be an offensive football team. They're going to have to win games on offense. They are not going to have a big-time defense over there. They're losing key pieces on the defensive side of the ball. They were not a good defense last year. They're not just going to be this lockdown defense like they were a couple years prior. They have to win games on the offensive end. Can Jalen Hurts do it? All the pressure's on him. You don't have your center there no more, who covered up a lot, checking into a lot of stuff. You're going to have to do that. All the pressure is on you to be able to deliver, and they gave you all that money
to do it.
True. So this is the time that he's going to have to show I'm that guy, and I can do it, and he has everything around him to be successful.
I can't wait. Honestly, Joe, I can't wait for your answer. I love this topic, so I can't wait for everybody's answer. But every now and then, I'll just be waiting to hear what Joy's going to say. And this is now and then. So, Joy, does Saquon signing put all the pressure on Hurts? How much pressure does it put on him?
Yeah, I mean, I think he already had all the pressure on him, so this just adds to it. I agree with everything James just said. This was not a good year for the Philadelphia Eagles, especially coming off of a Super Bowl appearance where the quarterback did play well. Everyone felt really incredible about what their defense was doing. Nick Sirianni was riding very high. And then it was like, very quickly. And we kind of disregard the fact that they did have a pretty nice stretch during the regular season. Now, we really constantly came in every single day and said, well, they're winning, but they're not really winning in a good way. And then we said that every day for like 10 weeks straight. And then it fell off a cliff. So they had a bad season. They had a bad end to their season, I will say, a bad end to their season. So the expectations are already super high. We immediately started questioning whether Jalen Hurts is a legitimate quarterback. Well, how much does he need? Does he need a perfect roster in order to win? So the pressure was already there, and I'm glad that they gave him another weapon to work with. Look, you're a quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. There's pressure. There's pressure for any quarterback in this league, but especially a player like Jalen Hurts who went to and played in the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes and played well enough to win. There's expectations, there's pressure, there's questions that need answered, and you're coming off of a really disappointing season. So I think that the pressure was already there. I think this move adds pressure, but I also feel good about it because you should be giving your young quarterback weapons.
Dave, let's talk.
I don't think you're going to like what I have to say, but go ahead.
Me and Dave had a lot of off-camera conversations about Jalen Hurts at the end of his all-pro season. I won't bring them on camera because I want to protect the guilty, however you interpret guilty here.
You were part of those conversations.
Dave, Jalen Hurts, I don't know just how great he is. I'll be honest, I don't. Maybe you do, I don't. Now you have Saquon Barkley. It don't get better. Saquon Barkley's had 2,000 yards in a season. A.J. Brown's had like 1,400 in a season. Devontae Smith is maybe the best number 2 wide receiver in football.
Yeah.
So
what's the bad thing? Where are you going
The bad thing is, does he have to deliver, like Super Bowl deliver this time and stop playing the other game?
Of course. But of course. Not to steal Joey's thing, but this is Philadelphia. What are we talking about here? They tried to fire the coach a year after the Super Bowl. Carson Wentz was out of there like 2.5 years after he was the MVP frontrunner for a lot of the year. That's how it works. If you're not great in Philly, you get out. That's how it goes. I don't think that's bad for Jalen Hurts, though. That's just the status quo. If anything, I think there's less pressure on Jalen Hurts right now.
How?
Because he's got the best supporting cast to help him out. What's the debate? How good is Jalen Hurts really? Does it matter if you have all of this talent? I'll take it back to Brock Purdy. That's the conversation about this poor guy every day is like, well, yeah, but he's got McCaffrey just taking his dump-offs to the house. He's got Debo catching a 3-yard ball and taking it 40 yards. That is what the Eagles have the potential to have now.
But
it doesn't matter how good Jalen Hurts is if we know he's good enough to win games.
But
he's already done that.
Here's the dilemma.
The better supporting cast,
last year, Purdy actually did that. He took his team to the Super Bowl. Now, the team didn't win, obviously, for more reasons
Jalen Hurts
than
has
one.
already taken his team to the Super Bowl. He already did that.
But last year, he took a major step back. Like if you look at the last 2 years,
with a lot of weapons.
Last 2 years, Purdy's been more consistent than Jalen Hurts, which is a crazy thing to say. But in the last 2 years, he's been more consistent than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has Lane Johnson, who at one point in time was the highest paid offensive tackle in history. Landon Dickerson, at one point in time, was the highest paid guard in the NFL. You got Saquon Barkley, maybe.
You're so good at listing off all of this stuff.
I don't want the world to realize the amount of help that Jalen Hurts has offensively. It's unheralded.
Okay.
Like, it is unheralded.
Okay, here's the counter. Here's the alternative. And I cover and follow the Dallas Cowboys, so I know all about it. The alternative is we're paying you $45, $50 million, so go without. Do more with less. Why should we go get Saquon Barkley when we're paying you $50 million? You're supposed to make the difference. Right. The Eagles know that that's not winning football. The Eagles are like, hey, man, you're good, but you need help. You need good players around you. We're going to go get you the best of the best. And guess what? It wouldn't matter if Temple was lining up with Jalen Hurts. If he wasn't good, they would run him out of there. That's what happens in cities like Philly. So the pressure is going to be there regardless because you're the quarterback of the Eagles. But Jalen Hurts should be thrilled that there's only maybe 1 or 2 teams in the NFL that have more on offense than he does.
I think you're maybe shifting the meaning of the word pressure for this conversation.
Why?
Because, literally, he has less pressure because he has more help. In the way that he is able to play the game.
Correct.
And the options that he has.
Expectations,
on the people that he can lean on,
Sure.
on the way that they can run the offense, on the star power around him, on the ability for guys to rise up on any given Sunday and give spectacular performances. In that sense, yes, there is less pressure on him because he is getting more help.
That's the word on the screen is
Correct.
pressure.
But what we're talking about is if he struggles.
Yes.
If he does well, nobody cares. Because Brock Purdy is a great example of that. Maybe we don't know how good Brock Purdy is, but it doesn't matter because he's winning games and he's getting his team to the Super Bowl. And it really didn't matter with Jalen Hurts because we sat up here and said the same thing. Brock Purdy was in the MVP conversation this year. Jalen Hurts was an All-Pro last year. So whether you think one is more talented than the other, I certainly think Jalen Hurts is more physically talented, but it doesn't matter. The results are all that matters. So you, Dave, are talking about the actual field of play, which, yes, I would thoroughly agree with you. More options and more talent takes literal pressure off of Jalen Hurts.
Does it?
We are talking about the metaphoric sense. Yes, it does. Having more help takes less pressure.
The only reason why
we're not talking about the same pressure. We are on the same page.
I know, but because I'm trying to understand my man Dave over there because he said he got Saquon, he got A.J. Brown, he got Dallas Goedert, he got Devontae. The game should be easy. Well, last year he was stinky, and he had Devontae Smith.
He did.
He had Devontae Swift. He had DeAndre Swift. He had Dallas Goedert. He had A.J. Brown.
He did.
All right, I hate what
And he stunk.
I hate what I'm about to say.
So no pressure?
He didn't stink.
We were very hard on him last year. We were.
He stunk, though, with all them people.
He stunk, but
he didn't stink.
We didn't stink, but we were hard on him last year.
Okay, hold on.
as good.
So he was a
as
second-team All-Pro. and then he's coming off a season to where you probably really, and just if we keeping it a buck, you probably really can't put him in the top 10 at the quarterback play from last season.
No, sir, you cannot.
Right?
No, not at all.
Thank you. So that's not playing good football.
Bottom two-thirds of the league.
At all, with all these weapons around. And now you add Saquon Barkley, a better weapon than Swift. We all can agree. And you telling me that you gonna come out here and play the same way? No, the pressure's on you to deliver.
There would be pressure. There would be more pressure on Jalen Hurts, again, if the Eagles were like, what do you need a better running back for? We're paying you, man. The Eagles are doing everything they can to take the pressure off of him to make his job easier.
But as long as he performs,
well, yes, the name of the game in the NFL.
Well, for me, pressure's got to perform.
But if you don't perform, and we can see that the team has done nothing to help you, then perhaps you get a bit more grace. If the team has gone through great lengths and paid lots of money to bolster the roster around you and you struggle, then the pressure to me is higher, especially based on the fact that we've seen you play at the highest level.
Y'all are all highly competitive people. Y'all played in the league. Would you, if it was you, would you rather have Saquon Barkley or Grace? Like, I'm so serious.
Exactly. But what I'm saying, though, too, is, like, when Saquon Barkley comes over here, I know I cannot play bad.
That part. Yeah. That part.
He already knows he can't play bad.
But if I'm but I'm just saying, if he didn't have those pieces, we would be like, they need to help him. They need to put some pieces around. So to me, that's no pressure. Pressure is if you have everything to be successful and you still stink.
Let's quickly talk about, and by quickly, I mean literally like 2 minutes. Dave, it's kind of that whole Dak Prescott conversation. Because for so long we said, man, the Cowboys need a number 2 wide receiver. Okay, you got CeeDee Lamb. Cowboys need a number 3 wide receiver. Man, Cowboys need a more explosive running back after Zeke got up there in age. Man, Cowboys need a dependable tight end. Oh, now you had Dalton Schultz. Then there came a point where we were like, what else does Dak need?
Exactly.
Because he had Amari, he had CD, he had Schultz, he had Zeke. He had Pollard. He had a good old line. He needs a healthy offensive line because Tyron was hurt. And then Travis Frederick had to retire. So there comes a point where Jalen, in my mind, truly has no offensive excuse. No offensive excuse.
Neither does his coach.
I mean, new offensive coordinator, lost Jason Kelce. You can always find an excuse. Man, look, I hope people appreciate the grace I am giving Jalen Hurts after what Dak was not given. True. In 2022. There are so many moving parts to this thing. My only point is that if you're Jalen Hurts and you know nobody gives a damn anyway, and that this is a bottom line business, you got to win. You would rather have the talent. You would rather know that you have all this help.
So really quick, let's say he has a year like he had this year. What's your thoughts on Jalen Hurts?
The Eagles will probably, without admitting it, be looking for a way out of that contract sooner rather than later.
How is it no pressure?
There's always pressure, James. There is always that
I'm
is
just
true
saying,
for
if you
every
don't play well with all these
NFL.
weapons, you just said they're gonna be thinking about how to get out of that contract. That's pressure.
Pressure is a given, but what would you rather have help to take that pressure off?
Much is given, much is required, Dave.
It's true.
Hey.
It's in the book.
I'd still rather be given it, because guess what? If you're paying a quarterback,
I can't pull a shady and make up a Bible story.
That was good though.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.